Sadhana Bhavatu Sana Punaktu Saha Viryakarvavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yogena Shitasya Padena Vacham Manam Sharirasya Chavai Chakena Yopakaratam Bhavaram Muninam Danjalim Pranjalir Anatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakasidarinam Sahasrashir Samsvedam Pranamami Patanjalim. Hari Om.
Hello, hello, can you still hear me? Better? All right. So, supta padangustasana, but instead of cinching your strap, just loop it. Get this adjusted here. So yeah, take your loop, just a loop around the right foot so you have a long tail, and then have room to extend the arms over the head. Loop the belt around one hand and interlock fingers so the hands are even. And then just go back and forth a few times. Lubricate that thigh socket. And then find your range of motion. Shoulders widen down so you're not gripping the neck, chin floating. Both inner thighs draw toward their sockets. And ground that left inner thigh socket, head of the femur, to raise the left heel slightly off the floor. Head of the femur descended to the socket on the left, heel floating up. And make the leg longer, set down. Okay. Take the leg to the side, bring the belt under the armpits. As the leg goes to the side, the left arm can take up the slack. The right hand can also hold the strap if you want. Tuck that right hip under. Keep the left shoulder blade on the floor though, so don't tip over too much. And then again, internally rotating the left thigh to ground the head of the femur so the heel floats up. Gently roll the inner chest and abdomen from right to left. And gradually release and bring the leg up. Take the strap out. And then the crossover. So you shift your left hip way under. Cross over with the right leg. Bring the belt again under the armpit chest. As the leg comes over, the right hand can take up the slack. Takes a little getting into, but externally rotate that right arm to take the shoulder down. Press into the floor with your left hip. Keeping the right thigh internally rotated, push the hip away from your ribs to lengthen that waist. Then roll deep inside, roll the belly and chest from left to right. Find a little back bend there, behind the collarbones. That area tends to get gripped. Release. Recenter the hips. And then loop the belt around your left foot. Let the leg go back and forth a few times. And gradually find your range of motion. Interlock your fingers around the belt so your arms are even, not one hand above the other. Shoulders widen down, chin floating as usual. Extending the right leg, internally rotating. As you ground the thigh to the socket, take the heel slightly up. Making that leg longer, set it down. Okay, back off to stretch a little, take the leg to the side, and the belt comes under the armpit chest. As the leg goes out, the right hand can take up the slack. The leg only goes so far that you can keep your right shoulder blade on the floor. Otherwise, you're just tipping over. Slightly roll the chest and belly from left to right. And grounding the root of the right thigh, take the heel up slightly. Making the leg longer to set it down. Release, bring the leg up. All right, cross over. Right hip comes under, left leg goes over. Take up the slack as the leg crosses over with that left hand. You can use the right elbow to roll the belly and chest from right to left. Keep that left shoulder blade down with the help of the external rotation. Find that little back bend behind the collarbone. Keeping the left thigh internally rotated, push the hip away from the ribs, lengthen that side of the waist. And as Ramanan used to say, stay in the pose until you're happy. We might not be able to wait for that, so come out of the pose. All right. Downward dog. Adho mukha. I guess nobody is happy. You are happiness. So tap into that physiological memory, that intuition. Your body probably knows the pose a little better today than the mind, at least initially. Find the rhythm in the limbs, so the torso is extended evenly, right arm, right side, left side. Takes a minute or so just to receive the pose before you add any very intentional adaptations. Extend the inner back body, slightly lift up from behind the navel into the bowl of the pelvis. You're not gripping the organs toward the spine, it's more of a lengthening, ascending movement. And bend the knees, sit back on the heels, rest. Okay, take uttanasana. Concave spine to start as usual. Ascend the legs to extend the torso down. Gradually go a little deeper down into uttanasana. Staying soft behind the abdomen and heart center. Find that little tiny back bend in the upper thoracic spine, no matter how down you go. Now come back to concave spine. And then go right back into your deeper pose. One more time, concave spine. Strong concave spine. And then full uttanasana, whatever your uttanasana is this morning. Legs plug in for the torso to go down. It does not involve the abdomen at all. Lift your toes and spread them wide and make the outer legs compact to the bone from the ankle to the hip sockets. Open the sit bones and roll the pelvic ribs toward each other. And sustain it. sustain it. Not do it and then, okay, I did that, what's next? Now, strong concave spine, and then release and come to Tadasana. Just wait there. The blood. Relax your nice haircut, V. Now your hair is all out of place. Oh well. Okay, supported parigasana on the two blocks, right? One block between the shoulder blades, one block under the head. Parigasana means couch pose. So you're sitting either in dandasana or virassana. If you can do the vertical block setting, please do. Otherwise, the block can be lower setting, depending on your... If you don't have any blocks, do you have a blanket or something you can roll up, Smadar, or something you can lie back over? Yeah, roll that up. Make it really thick.
Which way are the blocks, William? Are they horizontal? Are they wide across or the thinner?
They're this position. Can you see, Joy?
Yeah, got it.
Narrow? I mean, but again, if this doesn't work, you can go wider like that. I mean,
Okay. Thanks.
of course. So if you have a nice tight blanket, Smadar, just dome over that. Yeah, good. If you have two blankets, you can roll one inside the other and make it almost a little bolster. So, all right. Tuck the buttock under a little, then draw the floating ribs out away from the pelvic rim of the back body. Wide collarbones and shoulder blades as usual. Dome the chest off the block support though. Take care that you're not pressing downward from the sternum toward the support block. Widen the back ribs and dome the inner chest slightly by widening from the sternum to the armpit chest. Take the arms up and over. Bend the elbows, bring the palms to the head support block. Or just interlock fingers above your head. Walk your hands down gradually. Elbows roll back in. The arms should draw back downward toward the socket, so you're not pushing the head of the humerus up toward the armpit. Descends. And then again, re-inflate the upper chest. Those of you who can, take the head support block to the next lowest setting or remain where you are. Re-inflate the chest. And then if you're quite strong, you don't have any neck issues, you interlock your elbows and get rid of the head support and dome back. Remember to draw the arms toward the sockets though to dome. Or just stay in the previous position. Re-inflate the chest. Then switch the cross of your elbows, if those of you doing this variation. Switch the interlock of the arms. And bring the arms up and over. And breathing, dome up out of the pose. Okay, if you were in virassana, come out of the pose, extend your legs. Short break. Okay. And then everyone takes supta virasana, full supta virasana. Use height if you need it. Most people do. But if you can go low without height, do that. You don't always have to use a bolster. Okay, Betsy, now notice which ribs are touching the floor. Release it. You want to have a sense that eventually the lowest back ribs begin to go closer to the floor. Not just the upper thoracic, but even the ones below the heart center. There's a tendency to grip and push up there. So everybody below the heart center, widen the back ribs, release toward the skin and the back support. Integrate the rhythmic breath. If supta virasana doesn't work for you today, take supta padangustasana. So offer this pose to the Divine Mother. Why not? Or Krishna, or Shiva, or Buddha, or maybe your own innate nature. Finally, Betsy, starting to release. It can take a while. Good, yeah. Oh. Oops. All right, come out of virassana. Ah. Extend your legs. Feels good to come out of supta virasana. Almost as good as it does to be in it. Sirsasana. Head balance. If you're not taking head balance, do down dog head support, or work the base for a couple minutes, or you can do prasarita padangustasana head support. All right, V? Don't go back up. Just rest. Okay, those of you who can stay with it a bit longer, take padangustasana. Then either re-extend the legs or take upavishta konasana. Strong legs to the sockets. Lumbar, sacrum, coccyx up and in a bit. Wide lift in the shoulders. And then re-extend the legs back to sirsasana. Those of you who are still in the pose, take a few breaths and then breathe as you come out of the pose, resting with the head down, of course. Don't put your head up too fast. Okay, then take Viparita Dandasana, supported back arch in your chair. Have your feet to the wall. And everybody take head support today. Feet to the wall with head support, or cross bolsters, or arch over a chair, whatever you have. Zoom tight.